Ice-cold temperatures, gale-force winds, and towering seas. That's the Southern Ocean, and it's the defining feature of an iconic Leg 7 of the 2017-18 Volvo Ocean Race. During the Auckland stopover, the teams were racing and regrouping ahead of the 7,600-mile Leg 7 to Itajaí, Brazil. Since the inception of the race, this epic leg has been a rite of passage for the world's best offshore sailors.
So, it's something very special for a sailor to do, whether you're racing or not, and it's no mean feat, and it's also no secret that we're actually getting quite late in the season for rounding the horn in this race. So, potentially the weather's getting worse. Certainly the low pressures are getting a bit more frequent and a bit more potent. So, certainly in this race, when we're rounding the horn as late as we are, it'd be really nice to get round and then know we're heading back up to the relative safety of the North Atlantic.
I think we have trained a lot in the strong wind to be ready, and we have proven it in the previous Southern Ocean leg, and so we are ready for that. And of course, but we can't also forget that last race we broke the mast during this leg, and this is probably one of the legs where you have to think sometime, okay, forget the race and just keep your crew and your boat in good condition.
On Sunday afternoon, the 7 teams docked out in front of thousands of enthusiastic spectators, just some of the more than 504,000 to visit the race village over the duration of the stopover. The people of Auckland, the city of sails, they know this race well and love its sailors, and it's never easy to bid farewell to friends and families.
A lot of emotions, but obviously trying to keep the mind on the prize, and the stop's been great, and seeing the family and friends all out here on the water right now, it's pretty special. Auckland's put on a great show, and it's a bit hard to leave New Zealand, to be honest.
The opening import section of the leg start provided close and exciting action as the teams jostled for the lead, while hundreds of spectator boats watched from the racecourse boundary.
They love their yachting in New Zealand.
Overall race leaders Mapfre fought hard for the early lead, with Dongfang Race Team, Team Brunel, and Turn the Tide on Plastic all in close pursuit. Mapfre led the fleet out of the Hauraki Gulf on a long upwind slog into a strong easterly wind, out past the Coromandel Peninsula and East Cape, where they then made the turn south, making a beeline for the strong winds that await in the roaring 40s and furious 50s.
First 24 hours was pretty brutal actually. It's maybe not the sea state wasn't quite as bad as what we were expecting, but a lot of manoeuvres, a lot of tacks, and now we've come around East Cape and lost sight of the homeland. It's gone. The next landfall sees Cape Horn after a lot of underwater sailing.
And it was a quick transition south. By Wednesday, the navigators were starting the turn to the east, now south of 50 degrees latitude and into the furious 50s, with Vestas 11th Hour Racing leading the way. The Southern Ocean will test these sailors as never before. Rookies and veterans alike will be pushed to the limit, with a weekend forecast for gale-force winds and towering seas. A new generation of legends is in the making.